Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you guys could probably tell from the title down below, so this is my how many did I write down? Top 20 like webtoon manhwa like recommendations. Sometime last year this person commented this, and it took a while for me to make this video because when I was already planning for it, I was gonna list down like every single webtoon or like manhwa I read. However, as the list kept going and going and going, I was like, oh my god, it got to the point I think I had at least a list of like 180 webtoons, and I was like, gonna be an hour-long video. So I cut it down to 20 of my personal recommendations of like webtoons I love reading, and then sometimes when I am in the mood I reread it while it's updating. I mean, I think only 1 or 2 of this is done of the 20 I have, so yeah, I just put down 20 because I feel like if I also even just put like 5 more, maybe it would be like a lot. The first one I'm gonna recommend is probably something you guys have already seen on my channel. In fact, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 unboxings of its physical copy on this channel, and that is the Who Made Me a Princess series. So I actually have all 4 right there, like this stack with the red thing on top. That's all 4 volumes. Okay, now I'm really sorry if you're gonna hear my fan. It's like so warm right now. I feel like why is it that whenever I film it gets so hot for me? I'm like sweating buckets right now. So yes, anyway, so yeah, that is my first recommendation. Who Made Me a Princess, Suddenly Became a Princess, One Day I Became a Princess. It has a lot of English like titles. This webtoon in particular is my favorite one to date. This one was one of the first 5 webtoons I've actually read. When did I start reading webtoons? I don't even remember. I think sometime in like 2018, I think, was when I started reading webtoons. Early 2018. This is my favorite one. Like, I'll try not to go into spoiler detail, but I mean, if you guys are reading or like watching this video, you guys have probably read like your fair share of like webtoons. I mean, a lot of webtoons are like so similar in like this kind of genre, though not like all webtoons, but like the webtoon that like the genre that it goes to, like the historical like reincarnation of the sort kind of webtoons. A lot of webtoons have the same exact like start, but obviously the stories are gonna be a bit different. So if you guys are gonna see how a lot of webtoons right now have the exact same start, don't judge it by that intro. Obviously they have to find a way to put this character into that world, so they're gonna have to kill them, you know. So that's so Who Made Me a Princess is one of them. I think she said she was like she worked at like a cafe, and then one of their patrons left a novel, that certain novel, and then I don't even think she died. I think she did, but like of overwork, I think. So yeah, and then she was reading this novel, or did she not die? I don't even remember. I haven't reread this webtoon in like months. So yeah, I think that she died of over exhaustion from work, or she just fell asleep and is just in an endless dream. So that's how she like, and by she I meant the Korean cafe lady. Whatever happened to her was transported the next morning as the main character for Who Made Me a Princess. And right now she's what, 12, 13, 14? I don't even know how old Athie is right now. But yeah, that is my first recommendation. Yeah, so also a lot of like 98% of the webtoons here are of that genre. So my second recommendation is A Stepmother's Mission. So yeah, this one, I think it's from the same artist or studio of like Who Made Me a Princess, because they're both by Cartoon, and the art style is like so vastly different, and I actually love it. You couldn't even tell if it's from the same person or studio, or I don't even know. But yeah, so this one is I think my second most favorite webtoon right now. So this one isn't really a modern person dies and then is reborn as a character from a novel, a game, a book, or some sort of media. How to say this without... I mean, you guys have probably read this, but yeah, so, Shuli, the main character, is mother. I think the first part of the story is 9 years after, like, nine. So she's either, I think, 25 in the part of the story. So, like, pre-reincarnation and that sort. So, yeah, she was married to, I don't even know how old Johannes is. So, she got married, basically, to a very elderly duke. Is he elderly? I think he is, actually. She was 16 when she got married to this guy. And the Duke has 4 kids, a 14-year-old. I feel like Jeremy's the only one I know the age of. I don't know how old the middle child is, and I forget how old the twins are. So yeah, so she's 16, and the oldest child of her husband is 14. Literally 2 years older than him. You know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. Like, let me just tell you though that I really, really love this, like, story, because long story short, she thought she didn't have a good relationship with her kids, her stepkids, and then because sometime throughout, like, the months of marriage, the Duke he's not a Duke, he's a Marquis, actually. The Marquis died, and so she was left with the 4 kids to care for. He died the same year they married, I believe. I think. And yeah, so the present time, she was basically, it's been 9 years since she got married into the family, and then she dies. And then she had this, like, epiphany of, like, I couldn't even say goodbye to my kids, or, like, I couldn't even go to my oldest son's wedding. And I think her wish was so strong that some power above actually helped her. And so the day after she died, when she woke up, she was 16 once again, and that's where we are. So yeah, and I think one of her first goals, I know one of her first goals is to have a better relationship with her kids. And so now I just love the story so much. It's my second favorite. Yeah, after Who Made Me a Princess, it's definitely my second favorite. After that, the 17 others I'm gonna, like, suggest. This is in no particular order now. Just that the first 2 I mentioned are, like, my favorites, basically. And most of, like, and as I said, 98% of this is that kind of theme, because 2 aren't. The other 2, I'll probably leave that at the end. So yeah, also, before I keep going, this is gonna be a long video. I'm just looking now, I've only talked about 2 webtoons. It's at 11 minutes raw footage. I know, raw footage, and I know I'm gonna cut off a lot, but we'll see. Grab some snacks and let's keep going. So the third recommendation is Abandoned Empress. So this one actually took me a long time to start reading. I don't know, but the cover art that was still basically the cover art for this thing that it had at that time didn't really attract me. I mean, the art is gorgeous. The art is beautiful. Like, Korean webtoon artists, how the heck do you do this art? And, like, every week or, like, every 10 days, there's a release of full color webtoon chapters. Like, mind blown. And, like, keep the art as pretty as it is. Like, holy crap, how? Anyways, Abandoned Empress didn't really attract me, but then there was this one blog post I was looking. Yes, I look at blogs still. I know blogs isn't really a big thing now because we have YouTube, so we do have vlogs now instead of just blogs. I was looking at, like, webtoon recommendations at that time, and Abandoned Empress was, like, I wasn't even just looking at one blog, I was looking at, like, a lot of blogs, and Abandoned Empress was in every single one of them. And I was like, what is about this webtoon, you know? So I clicked it and I was like, oh my, this is actually also one of my favorites. But, like, there are moments in the webtoon where it frustrates me, especially with I mean, I do not condone the activities that Ruvelis had done to Aristia prior to time travel. Yeah, because that's not nice. You do not just, but yeah, so you guys can read Abandoned Empress, but yeah, like, literally, if you guys want to read what I'm trying to like not mention at all. Just go read it. But like sometimes Aristia's personality frustrates the heck out of me. So I'm just like, ma'am. Yeah, there are the frustrating moments, there are the good moments, but yeah, there's that. And yeah, Abandoned Empress is basically like the previous webtoon I mentioned. It's not a reincarnation from like Koreatown or like somewhere in the world. The main character was already Tia, and then something happened, and then she cursed Ruvelis before she was killed, and then she reincarnated. Not reincarnated, she time traveled after being killed to back then. I don't know how old she was when she died, and I forgot how old she was when she went back to her younger body, but I know she was like, she was in her teens, or was she a child? I actually don't remember. Holy crap. Abandoned Empress, like, I'm not crapping on it because I literally said it was one of my, it's one of my favorites. It's a webtoon. I don't know if I can ever reread once it's done. Because like, Aristia is frustrating too. Ma'am! That's my take on Abandoned Empress, so. Still a recommendation though. Okay, so if you guys are wondering why I'm also looking here, I listed down all of my recommendations, so. Yeah, I doubt I would be able to memorize all 20 of these. I mean, yeah. Okay, so my fourth recommendation is actually I Was the Real One. I think this has other names too, but like this is the more common one. So this one is like the previous two. The main character was already living as herself, and then she was killed, and then she goes back. So yeah, basically the story is that she is the daughter of a Grand Duke, I think, and somewhere along time travel was that there was this girl who claimed as her dad's daughter and treated more like a daughter.
Kind of like Who Made Me a Princess, actually.
And then there's a certain magic that only like the daughter of that family can have, and she was supposed to be the only one to have it. So yeah, and the thing is, the main character, I forget her name, because I'm like trying to think of like who the main characters are for all, so forgive me. Kira. Yeah. So Kira, basically, she is the legitimate daughter of the Grand Duke. However, this daughter of the previous, I don't even think the mother of this girl I think she was a mistress to the Duke, or some hoe that he slept with one time. Anyways, but yeah, Kira's mom and Zeke's mom are dead. Zeke is her younger brother. And so yeah, this girl basically just comes into their life, claims she's the Grand Duke's daughter, even though she's really not, even though she like looks like him. Basically claims Kira's place as the heir of the family, Harvey's family. And so the Duke basically loses all of his, I mean, he never even paid attention to Kira. At that time, who pays attention to like daughters, you know? If you're in power, it's men. So obviously he's gonna be paying more attention to his son, the young Zeke, who is like a child, and yeah, Kira's like 18, 19 or so, but yeah, so he basically paid attention more to this blonde chicky girl that claimed to be his daughter,
even though she's really not.
A lot of things happened. Kira was accused of something, and so she was gonna be killed. No, she was killed. She cursed her dad, and then she went back in time. And now she feels nothing for her dad, and her dad is like, what is going on? And I'm like,
it's your fault.
It's pretty nice. I love the art as well. Was that everything? Yeah, I didn't really want to go to... I think I just went into major spoiler territory for that one. I'm so sorry. I mean, if you guys... sometimes a lot of like webtoons of similar kinds actually overlap, so it's gonna seem familiar, it's gonna seem new, or yeah, anyways. Okay, moving on to the next title. The next one I am recommending is a webtoon called Ladybeast. So this one I think is the pinkest of all pinkest ladies. That's all I can describe the main character. This one, I think, I forget her name. I remember her husband's name, Ginger.
Well, what the heck was her name?
I forget. But yeah, she is basically I think she was a princess, wasn't she? Isn't she? but she's like, I think the 16th, the 13th princess, so she's not really being paid attention to. And then she was this a reincarnation story? I don't even remember. Holy crap. A reincarnation resurrection. I don't remember Lady Beast. I don't think I've ever reread this yet. I'm legit trying to think about what her name was. Yeah, I don't remember if this is a reincarnation or a resurrection. Or resurrection time travel. But yeah, so she's basically this princess who no one pays attention to. Wasn't she like abused, I think? I don't know. Yeah, she was abused in her in her family. And then she offers herself to her husband now. It's kind of cute because they switch bodies. This one is a newer one from the previous 4. So this one they switched bodies. And like, I love how they openly talk about periods here, because there are the times they switch their bodies and the husband is in the wife's body while she's on her period. So obviously the wife who is in the husband's body can't really take care of it, so Ginger in his wife's body has to deal with the period himself. Sometime along the road they found a way to go back to their bodies, but then there are the random times they switch bodies again. Yeah, so it's a back and forth kind of thing. Elisa, I think is the name of the wife, now that I remember. I'm so sorry to all the people, like all of you guys who are gonna be watching this who love these and then are like hitting me virtually on the head for not remembering their names. I'm so sorry. I'm remembering like 20 plus characters here. I think it was Elisa. And so it's cute. Like the pinky lady, she's actually so cute and the art is so cute. But yeah, good. It's a recommendation as well. It's like a different art style from the other 4 because like a Stepmother's Mansion has like a different kind of art, but the other 3, Who Made Me a Princess, Abandoned, Empress, and actually it was the real one, they have somewhat of like an art style that you can see is the same but not, while a Stepmother's Mansion has like a different art style overall. So yeah, and then Lady Beast is a very different art style as well, because like the character Elisa has like I think her name's Elisa, I'm just gonna keep calling her Elisa at this point, has the biggest, wait, is her eyes even pink? No, it's not pink. I freaking forgot what her eye color is. Lord. Yeah, she's cute. She's like all pink. I love that. But yeah. Okay, next one. Oh, the third, this 6th one I think is probably in my top 5 of favorite webtoons to date, and that is Viridescent Crown. It has a second name, Recording Hall. I don't know why. But yeah, so the Viridescent Crown. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm just literally gonna fangirl over this. I love this webtoon so much. Because like, basically, this is a reincarnation? Yes. So this is a reincarnation type. Where modern lady goes to the world. So basically, I'm not gonna spoil the story. I'm just gonna talk about what I like about the story. So the art is also so pretty. Like, I'm literally gonna just talk about art here. So, because I love aesthetics. That's what attracted me to A Stepmother's Mansion, because the art is so different and I love this kind of art. It's like English Victorian kind of art style. Anyways, Viridescent Crown is similar to the other 4. They're siblings. Technically, yes, but they're not related by blood. So Ran's mother was from a lower noble class, I think. And then Yus, her younger brother, is from a duke's family, I believe. Yes. And so the 2 got married, and then Yus and Ran obviously became siblings. So the previous Ran prior to reincarnation was a mean little bitch. She was considered a small villainess in the novel. And so she basically made her younger brother's life hell. But then she was killed when Yus fell down. Yus jumped off a tree. No, he didn't jump. He slipped off a tree, and then she gets killed. She wasn't built to sustain heavy injuries. She just died like that. So yeah, so Yus falls on her, and that's how she died. However, when she reincarnated, the same incident happened. However, she did survive, and so Ran's mother was mean AF. to use, and there was mild abuse, and then a lot of things happened. Their parents die, so now because Ran is older than Yus, she's 2 years older, I believe, and like to inherit the duchy, you have to be 19, I think, because that's like the adult age there. So Yus was 18 when I don't even remember, was Yus like 18 when they died? So Ran had to inherit the title of Dutch. Is she a Duchess? I think she is. She's the head of the family. That's all I gotta say. So yeah, she became the head of the family at the age of 19, going 20, and so she is basically different from the previous run, and that was very suspicious to use because like the run from before abused the crap out of him and was mean to him. And so he was sus at first, but then as the chapters go by, I think it's at chapter 40, close to chapter 50 now, the Raw, and the current translation is chapter 37-ish, and oh my god, the relationship development between the two of them, I ship them so hard, but I'm like, wait, you're siblings though. But like the plan was once Yus is like 19, he gets his title back because Ran only has it temporarily, and I'm like, what's gonna happen to her though? Because I think she's mentioned that she'll I don't know if she's still, is she gonna continue to be an older sister? Because here's the thing too, there's still a main girl, because the Ran from the novel was a small villainess, so she was a small side character, and then there was the main girl, Sheena, who has yet to show up. And so I'm like, wait, what if she shows up? And then Ran right now is looking for the second male lead, and so I'm like, what the heck? Because you can clearly tell that Yus has like feels something for his sister, he just doesn't know what. That's all I gotta say. Read it. Viridescent Crown is so good and it's so beautiful. The art is so pretty. Moving on is number 7. That's a long title. Death is the only ending for the villainess. So this one is this a reincarnation or a resurrection? I think this was a I don't remember. This was a resurrection story, I believe. So for this webtoon, okay. So this one's a game resurrection where the female lead right now, not female lead, the main character of the webtoon, Penelope, is a villainess, hence the title. And I think in every route of, because like if you guys haven't played otome games, how have you not? Like otome games, hence the word otome, meaning girl. So this is a game mostly played by females. I mean, there's some men who enjoy female games as well. But yeah, if you guys haven't played otome games, so long story short, you are a single character with a lot of men to choose from, and each man has a different ending, a different route. And so yeah, and then if you guys ever heard of reversed harem, this one means the main character is a guy, and then it's females you have to choose from. That's basically it. So this one is a harem game, and Penelope is the villainess who antagonizes the main character, not main character, female lead of the game, and is basically killed in every route of each man. So sad to say, man. And so yeah, so she basically has these there's these random times where I think they're called targets. So the target men, there's 6, 7, 5. Yeah, so there's her stepbrothers, because she was basically Penelope was picked off of the streets because the female lead, who just so happens to be the daughter of the Duchess, was kidnapped, or she's lost, she's sick, I don't remember, but she's gonna appear sometime in the story. But yeah, she disappeared, and so to like fill the void of a sister-ish, they took Penelope, like the Duke took Penelope from the streets and raised her like a daughter. So yeah, there's 3 of them, the Eckhart kids. So there's Reynold, Derek. So that's 2 targets. That's weird. So the female lead which just so happens to be their younger wait, that's... I just realized that's weird. Anyways, still recommending it though, even though you're gonna find it weird probably too. So yeah, those two are targets. And then there's a slave Penelope rescued right now. And then there's the Duke Prince. I think he's a prince. Starts with a C. Castillo. So yeah, there's 4, and then there's the weird one. So there's 5. Is there 5? I don't even know. It's either 5 or 6. I'm probably missing someone, but whatever. Right now, Penelope, as the reincarnation, wants to survive the entire game because she knows that in every route of the guys, she dies. So she's trying her hardest to try and get along, but one of her brothers is being very difficult with this. And so yeah, if you guys, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, read it. I'm just telling you my thoughts because this is my top 20 recommendations. So if you guys actually don't like what I'm talking about, move on. Anyways, the next up, number 8 is Dr. Elise, I think, which just finished as of the filming of this video, which is February 17th. I think the last chapter came out yesterday or the other day. Yeah, so the Ross is done. So the translations just has to catch up. But right now the webtoon is done. This one is a resurrection times time travel. Yeah, so that's basically just my classification. Reincarnation, modern to media. And then there's the resurrection, time travel. So yeah, that's what Dr. Elise is. So she was this empress candidate, actually queen candidate. I actually don't know. I don't know the title because the offsprings of the highest monarch is always a princess. But I keep forgetting if it's by an emperor or a king. I don't remember. Frick, I don't remember. But yeah, the princess dad, basically. But yeah, I don't know. He passes away sometime in the story. But yeah, so Elise is the princess fiancé. I don't remember if they got married before she died. She knew something was going on, and then if ever she was given a second life, she said she was never gonna fall in love with this fricker. I forgot his name because I remember the brother's name but not the main lead guy's name. Holy crap. Michael, what was the name of your older brother? Starts with an L, wasn't it? Lyndon. Yes. So she was like, God, if you're gonna give me a second life, I don't want to fall in love with this person anymore. So yeah, so she basically resurrected, time traveled to the past, and then catches up to the period where she was killed, gets past that, and yeah, she still falls in love with Lyndon though, so haha, psych. And it's almost done translation wise as well. So I think the English translation is just 2-3 chapters away, and there's like around 140 something chapters, so it's done. You're gonna like it. Okay, next up is another finished webtoon actually. It's La Dolce Vita de Adelaide. So this one finished, I think, in no, not even last year. I think it finished like end of 2019. Yeah, because I started reading it around 40 chapters in, and I think there's only like around 100 chapters. I don't know. But yeah, this one is done, and I don't remember. I never bothered to reread it. Was this a reincarnation? Or was this a resurrection? I don't know. So if you guys want to know, read it. But yeah, so she's basically this girl set herself up with the Duke to save herself. That's all I can say about it, basically. That's another recommendation, and it's done, so you guys can enjoy it. It's not even a lot of chapters, to be quite honest. Like, sure, 100 seems like a lot, but like, it's really not. So the 10th webtoon I'm recommending is the first ever webtoon I actually read, and that is Daughter of the Emperor. This one started my love for webtoons. I don't even know why I started reading it in the first place. I think I saw an ad for it, and then I just clicked it. And then it was like around 60 chapters in when I started reading this webtoon, and I fell in love with it. Like, sure, the art's kind of like, you can clearly tell the art is like 2D AF, because like from the previous arts, from the previous works, the artists draw the characters just so they don't look 2D, like 2D, like they were literally just written and pressed on paper. This one you can clearly tell. I don't really mind though because the characters still look gorgeous AF. Favorite character is her dad. Like, what was her name? I forgot the princess's name, but my favorite's her dad. My favorite character is her dad because her dad's like a freaking, he's a clown. Just saying. He's really not a clown because this guy's a freaking massacre war god, so he's not a clown, but like the fact that he's learning basically to love, because I don't think the emperor doesn't know how to love until he raised his daughter. Because the thing is, this guy, every single time a woman claims to be pregnant with his offspring, he kills the woman with the unborn child. The main character, I don't remember your name. What was your name? Crap, I am not gonna be over this. I need to look up her name. This is the first character I had to look up the name. Holy crap. Ariadna. Right, because I knew her nickname, Rhea. What was your name? So yeah, Ariadne. It's one of those. But yeah, so basically she was born in secret. And she was born while the emperor was at war. That's why he never knew that. And then the mother was basically, she was killed at birth. She died at birth. So after giving birth to Ariadne, she died. She passed away. That's what happened. And so the emperor was like, you know what? Sure, try and survive on your own, child. So yeah, he didn't really, at first he didn't particularly care about this thing because he doesn't know how to be a dad, because this guy was abused. And basically all he knew was fighting and war, because I hated his dad. The emperor, the previous emperor, he was garbage. Ariadne's, I think, 18, 16 now, and she's a big girl. So Keitel basically learned to love, and that was through his daughter. And I was like, oh my god, this is that cute. Because in all honesty, I don't have a good relationship with my actual father. I have a good relationship with my father figures though. So I could totally relate with like paternal relationship with Rhea, but this guy will never be what my biological dad is, because he is garbage. Anyways, personal life, go away. Okay, so that was the first half, and it has been 43 minutes. Oh my god, I hope I can cut it down. So yeah, so now we are moving on to the lower half. So the number 11 of my recommendations is The Young Lady is a Royal Chef. So this one, I think is pretty cute as well. So the art style is different from the typical ones I've read. And this one, I think this was a reincarnation. She basically goes from this emo depressed girl to this full of life girl. And she is the daughter from a mistress, I believe. But she was raised as a royal, and yeah, so the people who are raising her are not her parents, because I think her mom's dead. Her dad she belongs to a Grand Duke family, so her grandfather is the one who's actually raising her and her two older siblings. But she did the previous her pre-death, she had garbage relationship with him, because she was like the main character, I forgot her name. The frick was your name? But yeah, she had a bad relationship with her brothers and her grandfather, Senyana. I don't have the name here, okay? It's the chapters. I just remembered her oldest brother's nickname for her is Anna. From Senyana. The previous Senyana was like an emo girl. Like, she died of suicide. That's what I know. But I don't remember if she reincarnated from a modern girl to the current Senyana, or no, she reincarnated. Yes, because she reincarnated from a pastry chef girl. Yeah. So that's what happened. The new Senyana was basically a breath of fresh air to her grandfather and her brothers, and they were like, what is this? You're super sus. So they were super suspicious of her in the beginning, but like they saw her personality change, and then they were just like, oh, Senyana's changed. So yes, it's cute. There's not really a lot of chapters right now. I think there's only like 30-ish chapters. It's not quite a lot, but if you guys are looking for like a different breath of fresh air for a webtoon that does not revolve around romance. Like, this webtoon has romance, yes. But unlike, like, the previous ones where, like, a lot of webtoons, the reincarnation concentrates on the romance. This one doesn't, because yeah, I think her romantic interest is the prince Dominique, but they barely had any interactions right now, so her interactions are mostly with her brothers, and the fact that her brothers are so protective of her is the cutest little thing ever. Like, they hated her at first pre-reincarnation, but like now they're so protective of her, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. Anyways, moving on. So number 12, this one is a new one that I started reading. This is The Way to Protect the Female Lead's Older Brother. This one is gore, basically. That's all I can say. So if you guys are uncomfortable with like blood, you can skip this one. But to those who like this kind of gore, you can give it a try. There's not a lot of chapters right now because this is fairly new. So there's not a lot of chapters yet. So basically the female lead is an actual villainess-ish. Because unlike the previous ones where it said villainess, they were previous villainesses that are becoming good people. But this one, the female lead is an actual villainess. The art style is so pretty too. There's a lot of like questionable themes for this as well, because there's like some sibling interest between other siblings. That's not like, you could already tell that sure, she's the female lead is involved in, she's an interest by her brothers, but she does not have any interest with them. She has an interest with the female lead's older brother, hence the title. I'm just saying that if you guys don't like gore or like anything that involves blood, skip it. But if some of you guys are comfortable with it, then have fun reading it. Number 13, I Raised Cinderella Preciously. This one is so different. So you guys could probably tell from from my list already that like most of the characters are like teens, early 20s, mid 20s, young ones basically. But I Raised Cinderella Preciously is, I think, the most unique take on this. It's kind of like that isekai anime that involves the mom going into the RPG world. Don't quote me on that because I've never actually watched it, but like it's something like that, because for this one, the main character, the female lead is Cinderella's stepmom, basically. It's so different. Like, this is so different from the others, and that's what caught my eye. Like the art's good, but like it's not really the ones I read, but like the art is actually pretty though. But the fact that the main character isn't Cinderella but Cinderella's stepmom, like imagine that. And then the person who took interest with her is this random dude, because like, what's her name, Mildred, I think, and she's like 38. Ma'am, who, I will pull up a photo of freaking Mildred right now, this Madam Mildred, and then look, she's 38. I don't know if you guys will see it, but like I'll just show you the novel cover. This isn't the webtoon cover, but like close to this. Does this look 38 to y'all? Madam Mildred, Cinderella's mom, basically, is 38. I have nothing to say, but like, guys, just read it. Like, it's so different from like these previous ones where like it's like young love that you're like watching or like reading. This one is like Cinderella's stepmom, basically getting the romance. So yeah, read it. So number 14 is, I think, one of the it has such pretty art. So this one is Lady Baby. So this one is a resurrection. I was gonna say reincarnation, but it's not. It's a resurrection. Pre-resurrection, her family, all the men in her family has died. And I forgot the main character's name. Calliope. Her dad died. And then her oldest brother was accused of treason, I think. And was actually, I don't know, there was like a lot of that happened to her older brother's Luce, and then to try and like clear their name, her second brother Le-Vel looked for the brother and died as well. And then every single time a new death basically was announced to their family, her mother's health deteriorated. That word is hard. Deteriorated, and yeah, so it led to her mother's death. And then she was killed. A lot of things happened. The art is so pretty too. But right now, I think she's... So the stories... when she reincarnate, no, she doesn't reincarnate. When she resurrects, she becomes a baby. That's what it's called, lady baby. Because she actually, when she resurrects, it's a baby. And then she's currently, I think, 12, 13. I love the color, I love the color palettes for like the art of this because it's so glittery and shiny. That's literally all I can say. Like, it's cute. It's over 100 chapters now for Korean Ross, but for translated it's like 90. Maybe it's at 100 now, I don't know. No, wait, it's at 110 actually. Yeah, so translation wise it's at 110 now. It's very pretty, that's literally all I can say. And it's a very cute story. She and the Duke like the young Duke Castillo, Rias, Estrellas, that one. Yeah, they suit each other. This next one, what attracted me was the art. The art is so pretty and it's so soft. Like, that's literally all I can say. There's so much pastels going on and it doesn't really hurt the eyes. Like, there are some webtoons that like actually hurt my eyes with their color palettes, but like this one, that's literally all I can say. It's soft, but like the characters are glittery AF. Like, you know what I mean? And that is When the Villainess Loves. This one is a fairly new webtoon, actually. Yeah, there's not a lot of chapters right now. New chapters just came out. Two were just released recently, raw wise. The new character's so hot. A lot of the characters are pretty and hot, but like this new character, like if Libertia doesn't end up with this girl, ma'am, I mean, that works too. Not against that, but like the new character Daniel, there's literally nothing to say. This guy has like literally, so yeah, so the thing is, Libertia basically resurrects times. I don't know. Some of the webtoons are literally blurring. I'm like, did you resurrect? Did you reincarnate? No, she reincarnated. I remember now because she took Libertia's body from this girl, and then so basically she took Libertia's body, which is cursed with a disease of her basically dying. It's a rare disease. You cannot be saved from it. But it's a disease of the soul. So because Libertia is dead and she's a new soul, she is not affected by it, but her body has to suffer for it for 1 year. So basically, the previous Libertia goes to the current Libertia, and like every 3 days, she gives a dream, which is a memory that the current Libertia has to recover. And then, but the thing is, she coughs up blood, and so to the public eye, she looks like she's gonna die because the illness is actually very deadly because you cannot recover from it. But what they don't know is that the current Libertia doesn't actually have it. It's just her body that has it, but it's gonna get cleansed out in a year. So she just randomly coughs up blood, and then she's very frail, and like, I hate her brother. So here's the thing, the dad never really cared for her because he only cared about the crown prince, who was apparently the son of the only woman he fell in love with. So so basically, long story short, this bastard impregnated Libertia's mom but never cared for her. So yeah, they don't have the best relationship. Libertia knows that she's gonna die by her brother's hand if she doesn't do anything, because her brother is so weird, obsessed mother fricker with the female lead, with whatever her name is. Do I care? Yeah, because Libertia's my own. She's literally the softest, fluffiest. The art is freaking gorgeous. Like, look at this. What is the title of this? Like, the art is freaking beautiful. I actually like the webtoon art better than the novel art, because sometimes I prefer the novel art than the webtoon art. But like, look at this. Libertia is so pretty. Like, this is what the art looks like for the webtoon. Like, holy crap. Oh, I think I shifted the camera. Love that. But yeah, so that I love it. Like, if you guys love art, if you guys like pretty men, if you guys like a pretty girl. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Alright, so the next one is... This one is the newest webtoon out of all of this that I started reading. There's literally, like, I think less than 20 chapters out right now. Translated. Or 21. 21. And that is The Villainous of Marionette. This... What attracted me to this is art as well, because I'm a sucker for art. I'm an aesthetics kind of person. The characters in this webtoon is so glittery. Now this one is like one that is like, the colors are loud. The art style is so pretty. But like, I don't mind. This is a resurrection actually. Because she died in a horrible way in her previous life, and she was basically trying to ask help from her brother who used her. Because there's two of them that are children of the emperor, supposedly, even though you'll find out if you read. The legitimate heir is the girl. I know it's new. It's literally the newest chapter. It's literally the newest one I'm reading. But I forgot the main character's name. I know her brother's name. Rezef. Zareth, that's freaking fairy tale. Rezef is the brother's name. What is the sister's? Kayena. So Kayena is the legitimate heir to the throne. But her brother Rezef wants the throne. He decides to be a calculating bish and use his older sister. So that was the relationship before she died. When he finally got the throne, after killing their father, he sold his sister off to another family after finding her use, after like literally getting her use and like using her up until she was useless. And then so he basically sold her off to this family, and her husband was very abusive and was the very reason she died. But before dying, she was sending mails to her brother for help to save her because she was abused, but her brother didn't answer any of her mails. And then there is another guy that she had romantic interests for, but because her brother obviously held the power, she didn't get to pursue that romance. And the guy was already in love with someone else. She tried to send help because her abusive husband's family is a vassal family of her previous crush. And she was trying to send help as a last resort, but her husband found the mail, killed her after that. And yeah, so that's what happened. So she resurrected 2-3 years before like the current. And here's the thing, like she's trying to change things so that she doesn't die. And holy crap, let me just say how her brother Rezef is obsessed with her. Like this biche. But that's basically it. But the anyways, yeah, the art is gorgeous though. Like, okay, the next one is this one I think is the cutest webtoon ever, and that is Seduce the Villain's Father. I think this one, if you ever ask about like what is the most pastel-y looking webtoon to you, this one is the first one that would pop up in my head, because the main character Yerenika, I remember her name, which is a nickname. I think this is also a no, this is a resurrection. So she prevented the kidnapping of her older sister. So long story short, she resurrected from a story where her older sister is kidnapped. I don't even know why she resurrected in the first place actually. The previous timeline, it was her older sister that was kidnapped, but to the current timeline, she was the one who was kidnapped and was basically used as what is that term? But yeah, in the current timeline, she was the one who was kidnapped. Lots of things happen. She's falling for the emperor. The guy who kidnapped her was the emperor of the neighboring land, because her father was being a greedy little shithid. So yeah, number 18 is Beware of the Brothers. So this one, like, I'm actually thinking of like what the ending is gonna look like, because right now her relationship with her oldest brother is like all butterflies right now, and I was like, oh my god, are you the one she's gonna end up with? Because here's the thing, I think this is a resurrection one. I forgot how she died, because it shows in the first part how she died. Like it literally shows in the first part of the webtoon how she dies. Just forgot because I haven't reread it in a while. But yeah, so what happens is basically this girl is picked up off the streets because she looks like the dead siblings to the kids. So there's an older brother, a second older brother, and then twins. It's kind of like the setup for a stepmother's mansion. So that's how the kids are set up. So it's an older brother, a second older brother, and then twins. One is a girl, one is a boy. So the female twin passed away from a frail, she was so sickly. And then so one time the family was going, I don't know, for dinner outside, and then they saw a beggar who just so happened to look like the dead sister. So the Duke and the Duchess adopted her, and she was basically hated on by her siblings. So what happened was that when their parents died, her oldest brother inherited the Duke title, and then when they grew up, he gave her to another family, but then she actually loved her new, like, not gave her to a new family, arranged a marriage for another family, the Vastia family, and then she actually liked her husband because her husband was a close friend of her second older brother. Yeah, but then she died. During the wedding, before the wedding, I don't remember. But yeah, so she reincarnated back to when she was younger again, when she was hated on by her siblings. So, but like right now though, her siblings are super very protective of her and they really love her. But like, here's the thing, there's already discussions of her engagement to the same guy who just so happens to be the Vastia kid, the blue-haired kid, who is a friend of her second older brother Cabell, and her oldest brother Eugene is engaged. But like, here's the thing, why is it that they suit each other more than he does with his fiancée? Especially because with how the story is like developing right now, it seems like they're gonna end up together. It's like, okay, so wait, what's gonna happen to, what was the name of her supposed fiance? But yeah, oh my god, they actually suit each other, and then especially because Eugene has a fiance already, he's engaged. But I'm like, okay, but I love the art. Literally, this is me with every single one of them. And so basically, that is that for the reincarnation or resurrection type of webtoons I can recommend to you. Now let's move on to the last two, which are not the reincarnation or resurrection ones. So the first one, so the 19th title is a recent one I started reading, which is Unholy Blood. Basically the story of this pure blood vampire that was raised in a human household, but a lot of tragedy strikes, and her adoptive father, who happens to be a priest, is killed. And then now it's up to her to protect her two adoptive orphan siblings. And yeah, this one is different. So this is literally action packed. Like, there's so much fighting. So if you guys don't like action type, a lot of blood, a lot of killing webtoons, you can skip this. Yeah, if you guys actually like something different. So yeah, I just decided to put two of like a different genre in, and I actually love this. So yeah, Unholy Blood. And then I ship her so hard with the person she's living with. Anyway, who just also so happens to be a vampire after hiding the fact that he was a vampire. But yeah, she's a vampire, he's a vampire. They can't have babies. Okay, moving on. The last webtoon I am suggesting to you guys is Solo Leveling. So this one, there's barely any romance here. So Unholy Blood, you can kind of see like hints of romance sprinkled in like that. But like for Solo Leveling, there is romance as well, but it's not the most obvious genre for it because they concentrate on the gamer side in battle kinds. I hate to compare it like this, but like if you guys kind of like the MMORPG genre, like freaking Sword Art Online, then you're gonna like this. So yeah, I actually really love this. This is the first non-romance-esque type of webtoon I actually really love. Like, I really like it. And then actually it's Wednesday today, so the newest chapter was actually out today, and it's so good. So yeah, so basically he was this weak F-type hunter. FD type? C-type? I don't remember what the lowest one was, but S is the highest one. But yeah, he was so weak. And then like the thing is, as a hunter your pay is good, but like he was of the weakest hunter class that sure he gets paid regularly, but like because he's in the weakest class, he doesn't get a lot. And his mother is suffering from this eternal sleep syndrome thing, and then his sister goes to school and then his dad is missing, so he has to take care of both his mom and his sister, so he decided to become a hunter in the first place. But then there was something that happened that put him in a near-death experience where, so let's just say he did a full 180. He even had the nickname of the weakest hunter in the world, but now he is probably one of the strongest hunters in the world. Like, this motherfricker, like, literally 180. Something happened, and if you guys want to know, read it. But yeah, that's all for today's video. This is a long video. It's an hour's worth long of raw footage. But, so yeah, so I just decided to cut it down to 20. And so that was my 20 recommendations. If you guys have your own recommendations, you can put it down below in the comments, in the comments section. If you guys want more, like, let me just tell you, because the initial original planned Webtoon recommendations video, well, Webtoon video, has over 180 titles. You guys can request, if you guys want, another video like this, and then I can put another 20 in, or if you guys want, or if you guys actually don't want a long video, I can just make it to like 10 like Webtoon or manhwa like recommendations. And if you guys want like a certain genre, so let's say for example this video, I had 20 webtoons I discussed. 2 of them are like different type, 18 of them are the same kind. If you guys want something like that, like a pure recommendation of one certain genre, then sure, let's see if I can do it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was so super long. Yeah, because this year I wanted to actually engage with you guys more. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or any recommendations for videos you want to see on this channel, comment it down. I know this video took so long to actually come up, but yeah, because this was a suggestion from a comment last year. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and remember to keep on shining. Bye!